Most buyers start their Rancho Mission Viejo search in the village of Rienda, then they see the Mello-Roos amount. Sendero is the answer they're looking for, and this home proves it. Let's go tour. Here's what that moment actually looks like. The price works, the loan works, then the full payment comes back and it's higher than the number you had in your head. That gap is the Mello-Roos. It's a separate line item on the property tax bill. It sits on top of the base rate and is not the same in every village in Rancho Mission Viejo. 2 homes in R&B, same size, same category, very different monthly costs depending on which village they sit in. And here's the part most buyers miss. That line item is fixed to the property, not to you. You do not refinance it away when rates move, you carry it. And I know, I'm Dave Archuletta with the Archuletta team. I've helped over 600 households buy and sell here in Rancho Mission Viejo. I've watched buyers run this exact math for years, and I've watched most of them run it too late. Here's the one thing about this home. Street-facing product at this size does not come up often here in Sendero. Most of what gets built in this range faces a walkway. That is not something you renovate into a home. You either have it or you don't. This one has it. Let's go check it out. This home opens immediately. No long entry hall, no square footage spent on an entry that does nothing. The wood flooring starts here and carries continuously through the living, the dining, and the kitchen, so the main level reads as one connected space instead of 3 separate rooms. In this size range in Sendero, that flow is the whole difference between a floor plan that feels tight and one that does not. This is what street facing actually buys you. Most of what you get built in this range faces a walkway, front door to front door, living room window to living room window. Here you have a full street width between you and the home across the way, plus a sidewalk and a setback on both sides. And this side sits elevated above the homes across from it. That grade change matters more than buyers think because it takes your windows out of anyone's eye line, more distance, more separation. What sits outside your front windows is open street and landscape instead of a neighbor's front room. Real quick, here are the numbers on this home. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath in the village of Sendero in Rancho Mission Viejo. The home is 1,648 square feet across 2 levels. There's a loft upstairs in addition to the 3 bedrooms. This is a Plan 2 in the neighborhood of Shea. The HOA is $246 per month to the Master Association and $378 per month to the Sub Association. And the Mello-Roos is $2273 a year. The kitchen anchors this plan and the island is why. It runs to the length of the space, seats 3 on the great room side, and the sink sits in the island instead of against a wall. Whoever is working in here faces the living space, not a wall. Stainless appliances, gas range, linear glass tile backsplash carried the full run. Under cabinet lighting across the whole perimeter. The cabinet is the original dark palette and it is a defined look. What makes it workable either direction is that the counters and the backsplash are neutral, so the palette is not locked to the cabinets. At this size in Rancho Mission Viejo, a lot of plans hand you a peninsula or an island with no seating. This one works both ways at once. The dining room sits between the island and the living space with its own facing window. At this size in Rancho Mission Viejo, the dining zone usually gets squeezed against an interior wall with no window at all. This one seats 6 and gets real light. It also sits at the front door and that door opens out to the gated patio. A few steps from the table to outdoor seating. In South Orange County, that is most of the year. We'll come back to the patio at the end of the video. The living space sits off the front and this is where the elevation pays off. 2 street-facing windows and what comes through them is treetops and open sky. You are looking out, nobody is looking in. The room is defined. Open concept at this size in Rancho Mission Viejo usually leaves you one usable wall and an argument about where the sofa goes. Here you have a wall opposite the windows, a second wall for seating, and an arch back to the entry instead of a doorway. Open to the kitchen and dining, but it still lives like a room. Beside the stair, there is a recess deep enough for a console or a cabinet, drop zone storage, or a spot for a piece you like. Small thing, but at 1,648 square feet in Rancho Mission Viejo, a wall you can actually use is not a small thing. The half bath is on the main level here and it's a full room, not carved out under the stair with a sloped ceiling, which is what a lot of plans at this size in R&V give you. Full height frame mirror, pedestal sink, no cabinet under the sink, so storage in here is wall mounted, small trade-off, easy fix. Let's head out to the garage. 2-car attached garage, finished out here, epoxy floor, Overhead racks on both sides, drywalled and painted walls. The racks matter more than they sound because on a plan at this size in Rancho Mission Viejo, the garage is your storage. Bins and luggage go up, floor stays clear, and you can actually park 2 cars in here. Water heater is tankless and wall mounted, so it takes up wall instead of floor. Let's head back inside and head upstairs. Real quick, if you like what you see, I do these Rancho Mission Viejo home tours 2 to 3 times a week, so hit the subscribe button for more Rancho Mission Viejo homes. Second bedroom, carpet, ceiling fan, window, and an arched opening rather than a flat doorway. The closet spans the wall. Through these are bypass doors, so you only get half of it open at a time. Builder standard, easy swap. What matters more is the full wall with nothing interrupting it. At this size in Rancho Mission Viejo, the second bedroom is usually what gets sacrificed to make the primary work. This one holds its own. Between the bedrooms and the bath is a built-in linen cabinet, uppers, lowers, counter between, matched to the kitchen cabinetry. That is the third real storage moment on this tour, and on a plan this size in Rancho Mission Viejo, it adds up. Third bedroom, and it is not the leftover room. 2 windows with treetops through both. The closet is a walk-in rather than a bypass reach-in. And on a 3-bedroom plan at this size in Rancho Mission Viejo, one of the secondaries almost always gets shorted on the closet space. Here, neither one does. Full wall opposite the windows, office, guest room, or whatever you need it to be. The secondary bathroom serves both bedrooms. Tub and shower combo with full tile surround, tile floor, cabinetry matched to the kitchen, single sink, which is worth naming on a plan where 2 bedrooms share it. What offsets it is the vanity length and the drawer banks on both sides. At this size in RMV, the secondary bath is usually a 36-inch vanity and nowhere to put anything. The loft sits at the top of the stairs, and it's not a landing you walk through. Knee wall on one side, full walls behind it, so the space is defined and a desk has a back to it. Separated from all 3 bedrooms, office, study zone, or second seating area, and it does not cost you a bedroom to have it. At this size in RMV, a workspace usually costs you a bedroom, not here. Around the corner we have the laundry, which is upstairs, and it's a room, not a closet. Full size, side-by-side machines, floor space in front of them, tile floor and upper cabinets above. In this size layout in RMV, laundry is often a stacked unit behind bifold doors in a hallway or stacked in a closet. This is a room with a door. On the opposite end of the hallway is the primary, which has windows on 2 walls, light from 2 directions, treetops through both. It takes a king with nightstands on both sides and still leaves floor for a seating corner. At this size in RMV, the primary usually takes the bed and the traffic path and nothing else. The bath is a separator, dual sink vanity, framed mirrors, large format tile, oversized shower with a built-in bench, full height tile, and a window inside the shower for natural light. The closet is a walk-in with a rod and a shelf. No built-in system, and there's an argument that that is better. Nobody has spent money in here building out a configuration you would have to tear out. The footprint is there. What goes in is yours to decide. That's the inside of this home. Now let's head back downstairs to the front patio. Real quick, if you want the address, the full details, or want to see this home in person, comment private tour below and I'll personally reach out, or call or text me at 949-550-2307. Here is the patio I told you to sit with at the beginning. It runs the length of the front and turns the corner with room for a sitting group and a table at the same time. It sits raised behind a low wall and iron fencing, above sidewalk level, behind a gate. That is the elevation from earlier, and this is where you feel it. You're not on display, you're above it looking out. Now the honest part, this is the outdoor space. There's no separate rear yard on this plan. Some households need one, and if that is you, this is not your home. But a private rear yard and a front patio are not the same thing trying to do the same job. One is enclosed and it's yours alone. This one is open, connected to the dining and the entry, and it faces the street where people actually walk. In Rancho Mission Viejo, that is not a compromise, it is the design. Mature trees overhead, green parkway, hills past the end of the street, morning coffee out here, evening after work out here, and the association handles everything past the gate. Here's what living in Rancho Mission Viejo actually gets you, and start with what is walking distance from the door. Sendero Farm, the ranch house pool, the putting green, the trail over to Stair and Rienda. You are not driving to any of that. Then the part buyers underestimate. You get the whole ranch, not just your village. Sendero, Stair, Rienda, and whatever gets built next. Resort-style pools and spas, fitness centers, pickleball, tennis, bocce, miles of trails, and it is not one pool at the end of your street, it is all of them. The other question buyers ask about Rancho Mission Viejo is, how far do you have to drive for anything? Well, Sendero Marketplace is 5 minutes out, and that is Gelson's In-N-Out Burger and the Archuletta team office. Los Patrones Business Park is a 6-minute drive with Frisbee Brewing and Seven Hills Pizzeria. Groceries, coffee, dinner, a place to meet someone, all of it inside 10 minutes, and in South Orange County, that is not the norm. Let me pay off what I promised you at the top. The Mello-Roos on this home is $22.73 a year. A comparable home in Rienda runs about $7,500 a year. Same ranch, same amenity access, same card. That gap repeats every year you own the home, and it is fixed to the property, not to you. You do not refinance it away. Then there is a second number, and most buyers do not see it coming until they are already in escrow. Rancho Mission Viejo charges a one-time fee at closing, and that rate is not the same in every village. In Rienda, it runs a full percentage of the purchase price. In Sendero, it runs 3/8 of a percentage point. Rienda buyers pay almost 3 times as much for the exact same thing. Not 3% more, 3 times more. And here's the part that stings. That is a closing cost. You cannot roll that into your loan. It is cash out of your account on top of your down payment. Every buyer I work with has a number in their head for cash to close, and this is the line that blows it up. So here is the whole thing. Buyers start their Rancho Mission Viejo search in Rienda, then they see the Mello-Roos. Sendero is the answer they were looking for, and this is what that answer looks like when you do not give anything up to get it. If this could be your next home in Rancho Mission Viejo, comment private tour below and I'll personally reach out, or call or text me at 949-550-2307. If you're thinking about selling your home in Rancho Mission Viejo, an online estimate is not a strategy. The first 2 weeks on market decide your final sale price. Tap the link below to set up a home selling game plan strategy meeting with me. I'm Dave Archuletta with the Archuletta team, #1 realtor and #1 team in Rancho Mission Viejo. Subscribe for weekly Rancho Mission Viejo home tours and monthly RMV market updates. See you around the neighborhood.